guys, I'm FPL Nymfria and welcome back to the home of FPL videos. Well, I didn't expect this game week to be as profitable as the last, and unfortunately that was exactly the case. Let's take a look at how I got on. It started well for Ryan. In fact, we were just past the hour mark when Chicharito decided to spoil my beach party and take away my clean sheet. I'm not gonna lie, watching this back, I was sure Ryan made more than 2 saves in this match, but alas, maybe I was clutching at straws and just the 2 points banked for him. Moving on to my defence, it was a similar story with my double Liverpool defenders. Luck deserted me as I was looking at a half decent game week. In fact, I was looking at a very good OR until Adrian struck. I mean, we went from having Alisson injured, then Adrian got injured, and then those who had a Liverpool keeper and or Liverpool defence had no idea what was going on. Adrian started, and he started well. He got 3 saves, had 72.4% accurate passes and made 2 clearances, but in the 83rd minute he had an absolute clanger and handed the ball to Ings to happily tuck the ball in the back of the net and dashing all my hopes of a double clean sheet. This has now made me a bit shaky about my double Liverpool boys. Despite them playing really well in attack, they are at a severe risk of losing their clean sheet, and with them being such a hefty price tag and only returning 2 points each, I will have to have some serious thinking as to if I continue forward with them both. Last up in defence I have Dean, my defence hero of the week. He made 6 clearances, 2 key passes, 6 crosses and had a shot on target, resulting in an assist, a clean sheet and 2 bonus points, to add to a total of 11 very much needed points to my team total. He did go off injured though at the 72nd minute. I'm hearing it was just a knock and just some tightness. Let's hope we get some definite news on him before that deadline. Moving on to my midfield and to Mo Salah. I decided to stick with Mo as my captain this game week, despite him participating in a lengthy midweek cup game, because Klopp suggested that he was one of the freshest in the squad. Mo had also never blanked against Southampton since joining Liverpool, so I was confident in my captain choice, despite seeing many others switch to Sterling. Unfortunately, this time it would have been better to have gone with the crowd and gone with Sterling, as Mo had just 1 shot on target and missed a big chance. These big games midweek take more out of the players than I realised, and I will definitely consider this for my captain choices going forward. Sterling, on the other hand, looked really good, with an 84.2% pass rate, 2 shots on target and 3 shots blocked, resulting in a goal and 2 bonus points for 6 FPL points. This may well would have been a tad bit more if he didn't pick up a yellow card in the 26th minute. Next up we have Perez, and I'm feeling a little disappointed here, I have to admit. Just 2 points from him. Last week I stuck up for Perez a bit in my video, feeling a bit like he might have been misunderstood in the first game week. However, he did nothing this game week to allow me to stick up for him again against all the negativity he's getting. He looked lacklustre on the ball, only 1 shot on target, despite Leicester having a much better second half. He just didn't look like he was up to the speed of the others trying to save the game. He has some tasty fixtures coming up, but I need to see more from him and fast. Another player posting only 2 points for me was Dendoncker. Again, I shouldn't be expecting much here, but he does look promising for his price. He's getting forward and having shots on target, so at the moment I can't complain about any of that at his 4.5 mil price tag. Lastly, in midfield, I played the newly named Trossard and have now decided to reinstate him as Trossard after he scored not 1 but 2 goals on Saturday. Granted, one of those goals was disallowed by VAR. Boo. That's 2 weeks in a row for my players now. I'm just not getting any luck with it at all. However, Trossard looked full of energy and attack with 40 touches on the ball. He got me 7 points from his goal and 2 minutes played. I still am a little worried he may get rotated, not on performance, but because the manager may feel a different setup is needed against different teams. But I don't feel the sudden need to have to evict him as strongly as I did after last game game week. He buys himself a bit of time based on his awesome performance. Moving on to my forwards, and first up is Kingy. I was concerned about Wilson this week, but thankfully it seems my thoughts on King being back on penalties in pre-season seemed to carry on into the season and be the case on Saturday. So despite Wilson going down for a pen and grabbing the assist, Kingy neatly tucked the penalty away for 6 points towards my team total. It's not massive, but with this game week as it is, every little helps. Kane was, well, frankly, a little disappointing. Just 2 points from him. Okay, so City is not the easiest team to face. I get that. However, Spurs still managed to put 2 past them, and Kane was nowhere to be seen in either of those goals. I had hoped with Eriksen back that he'd not be creating so much of the play and not needing to have to drop so deep. But for some reason he seems to be obliged to do it at the moment, and it's not helping his FPL points at all. Newcastle up next though. If he doesn't impress me there, I will likely have to shift him on, despite his great run of fixtures, because I can't really sit around and wait for the big hauls with his 11 million price tag when lots of people are getting far more for far less. All of that means I ended on a total of 48 points, a big difference from the highs of last game week, but still somehow giving me a small green arrow. I will most definitely take that, placing me at an OR of 229,403. Looking forward, and this is how I'm looking at the moment, there is some serious panicking happening in the FPL community. People are wildcarding all over the place. Prices are rising and dropping quicker than you can blink. It's all a bit nuts at the moment, and I'm trying to keep my head in all this madness, but it's extremely tough. For instance, I only noticed Monday I could have got KDB for free with my 2 transfers, but it was too late by then as KDB went up on Sunday night. I wish we didn't have any price changes until the final game of the week. It feels a lot like you're pushed into doing something on the weekend without all of the information, and you're having to make snappy decisions that haven't really been thought through. So where does this leave me now? Honestly, I had 2 free transfers and I wasn't sure how to use them. KDB in with Kane would have been great, so if you guys can see a way for me to still do that for a -4 at the most, then please do let me know in the comments below. However, at the moment I have moved Gilbert for Lundstrom because Gilbert was dropping and the only 4.5 I was interested in was Dunk, and I wasn't sure about doubling up on Brighton defence. We all know how that ended last season. I'm not sure on Lundstrom keeping his place, I have to be honest, but I'm willing to wildcard soon if things with my next few transfers don't really work out. I'm considering carrying the other 2 transfers to next week where I will know a bit more about Kane and whether to keep him, but Robertson to Wan-Bissaka and Perez to Martial for a -4 is also a possible move for me. As for this setup, it doesn't look great, does it? Knowing Arsenal like I do, I'm hoping that even if Poole concede, then I am thinking that Robbo or Virgil van Dijk could still get attacking returns, given our defence is still a long way to go despite new signings. But if the Poole defence looks dodgy at Arsenal, I think that seals a sale for me. King will be a write-off this week with City, and my bench is still non-existent. News on Dino will be vital here, praying I get some definites on him. So I'll be taking this week as it comes, but I'm not initially looking to do anything major. I'm also not feeling very hopeful for next game week. As for captaincy, this one is simply between Kane and Sterling. I haven't decided yet. However, with Kane's performance last week compared to Sterling, I think I'm leaning in Sterling's direction. However, talking about price changes, let's take a look at the trending transfers, a series I did last season which helps players see what the other FPL managers are doing this week, so that you can decide if you feel you want to stick with the crowd or edge your bets against them, as well as keeping an eye on the players most likely to fall or rise in price. First up, the goalkeepers, and shockingly the most transferred out keeper so far this game week, besides those still shifting Alisson on, is Ederson. Ederson has been moved on by over 47,000 of you already. The shift seems to be towards cheaper goalkeepers such as Pope, Ryan and Pickford, presumably to free up some cash and move it further forward off the back of City losing their clean sheet at home to Spurs. The main defenders making way this week are unsurprisingly the Liverpool duo Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. Robbo has been sold by over 134,000 people, and Trent has lost the confidence of over 78,000 of you. Again, form seems to be pushing this, and the fact that selling these 7 mil defenders frees up a lot of funds for FPL managers, especially as the main shifts are to cheaper defenders, with Wan-Bissaka and Lundstram being the main targets. In midfield is where we can see the most shifts this game week. FPL managers have had enough of the likes of Fraser, Perez, Sigurdsson and Bernardo Silva, and are looking to players such as KDB, Martial, Ceballos and Mane to help aid their teams. Ceballos is currently in the lead for midfielders, transferred in despite his tough fixture, with over 321,000 of you being impressed with his 5.5 mil price tag and 2 assists against Burnley. Will he keep his spot at Arsenal? This remains to be seen, with Ozil, Xhaka, Torreira and Mkhitaryan all still waiting in the wings with different tactics and setups waiting for Emery. But the young Spaniard had all the hallmarks of a young Santi Cazorla. If he can keep it up, even at 6 mil, he could still be a steal for FPL managers. Up front, there's only one name on everyone's lips this week, and it's Teemu Pukki. Following his hat-trick against Newcastle, over 588,000 of you at the time of recording this have transferred him in. Pukki has risen 0.2 since the start of the season, and he doesn't show any signs of slowing down in the transfer market. It looks as if FPL managers feel they have found their next Jimenez, and they are jumping on board the Pukki party at the expense of players such as Wilson and King. Elsewhere, Rashford is also seeing some love from FPL managers this game week, and Kane managers seem to be preferring Aubameyang over Sir Harold despite his tasty home fixture against Newcastle. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to check out my sponsors fantasyfootballfix.com, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, Nymfria out.